Yo, what's good? It's your boy Big Steve, and welcome to the Haze and Blue, where we smoke and talk Michigan football. So let's get into it. So before we get into talking about the receivers and tight ends of the 2024 Michigan Wolverines, I'd just like to bring up that Michigan has agreed to a 3-year probation deal. I don't know what all comes with the probation. Long as it's not a motherfucking bowl bin or playoff bin, I'm really not concerned of it. But Michigan gets 3 years probation for Burgergate, and which is not the same punishment as the sign stealing investigation, which is still ongoing. But as of right now, Michigan has agreed to accept a 3-year probation with paying fines. And that's about it from the COVID situation where somebody was supposed to have been bought a cheeseburger or some shit. Total bullshit. So I'm really not going to get into it too much. But just thought I'd just go ahead and put that out there that Michigan has agreed to a 3-year probation. And some fines and some other bullshit that don't matter. We still motherfucking champs. Go motherfucking blue. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get into just a couple key players for the 2024 Michigan Wolverines, tight ends and receivers. I feel it's go just like the linebacker group is definitely gonna be an underrated group on the offensive side of the ball. So I definitely got somewhat experience with Samaje Morgan, Tyler Morris, and Colston Loveland all played significant playing time last year. But definitely a young group, mostly sophomores and juniors. Cornelius Johnson and Roman Wilson left to go to the NFL. Salute to those guys, man. Balled out. They definitely left their name at Michigan. But so just to get into it, man. So, first off, we're going to start with Samaj Morgan, the star of the Iowa game, who had the long punt return, got hawked down. A viral video from the Iowa defender falling down, then getting up, hawking him down like at the 5-yard line. But that punt return was the play that changed the game in the Big Ten championship against Iowa. You know, especially as a freshman, his first time returning punts, and to make that play in that game to change that game because it was a kind of a defensive grudge match up until that point. You know, so he definitely came on the scene, made a couple big plays last year. Shifty guy. He's definitely going to be somebody you're going to be looking out for, not just in the spring game, but he's an all Big Ten caliber player, man. Samaje Morgan, he's a character. He's exciting. He say how he feel, and I think that's one thing that Jim Harbaugh pushed for him to do. You know, he had the big fumble against Alabama in the Rose Bowl, but luckily for him, we did win that game. So it's not as of a big deal as it could be. But Samaj Morgan, man, as of right now, he's number 82 going into his sophomore year. And what I like about Samaje Morgan, he's a playmaker. He's confident. He wants to be out there and he wants to make big plays. Even after he fumbled that play against fumbled a punt against Bama, he still went out there, caught like one or two passes. You know, so for a freshman in a Rose Bowl playoff game to fumble a punt return and still have enough trust from his coaches to go back out there and now that punt return, I believe but he did finish the game and got some snaps at receiver. So with Roman Wilson gone, Samaje Morgan is definitely somebody who, as Michigan fans, we gonna be excited for and looking to see him stepping up in that big role, man. 5'10", 175. He had a couple of screens last year behind the line of scrimmage and made a couple players miss. And he plays bigger than he is. He's a shifty guy, which I'm glad. Like, I was really excited to see what Roman Wilson turned into. And it's pretty good to have those playmakers. Michigan was known for having big receivers, blocking receivers. Somebody who was kind of probably easier to cover. If you were a great DB, which Michigan plays a lot of great DBs in the Big Ten. So having somebody like Morgan who can, like I say, man, he's a playmaker. He's shifty, quick. He can catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage. He can go on the outside. He can play inside. So he's definitely somebody who, like I say, man, I like to do confident. He talks shit a lot. And he backs it up, man. So Samaje Morgan is one of the receivers I'm definitely going to be looking forward to seeing. Tyler Morris. The former high school teammate of J.J. McCarty, had the big touchdown run against Bama, also in the Rose Bowl last year. Number 8, 5'11", 185. Kind of remind you a little bit of Ronnie Bell. Kind of aggressive kid, don't mind going across the middle. He did have a couple drops last year. That's something, like I said, it's not concerning because he didn't have that many opportunities to where it was a concern. But he did have a few drops, I remember, last year. But he definitely came on with the big play against Bama, man. Turned on the Jets on the sideline. So he got the speed. And just like Morgan, he's not that big of a guy, but strong across the middle. And he showed in the Rose Bowl that he got breakaway speed against some of the best athletes in the world. So Tyler Morris is definitely he's going to be a monster. Dude's going to be a beast, man. It's interesting to see how, the new offense shape up with Kirk Campbell being promoted to offensive coordinator. He was the former quarterback coach that helped JJ, but with Sherrod Moore becoming the head coach, Kirk Campbell took over as the offensive coordinator. So, like I say, having players like Morgan and Morris is definitely going to be interesting to see how those dudes being used. Watching Ohio for so many years, get these playmakers at receivers. Just not somebody who's going to block. Get playmakers to where when you get them in space, they can be dangerous. And that's why I like in Tyler Morris and Samaje Morgan. Like I said, he's going to be a junior. And the good thing about it, it's been a while, but all these guys are sophomores and juniors being built in Michigan. We haven't seen this since probably Donovan Peoples-Jones, Collins, Tariq Black. So it's definitely cool, man, to see these young dudes turning into some solidified ballers, man. So Tyler Morris, number 8 from Illinois. Look out for him in the spring game this Saturday on Fox. But I do feel the X factor is going to be Frederick Moore. 6'1", 185. He's the taller receiver of the group. Sophomore out of Illinois as well. Had a couple plays last year. Got a little playing time, not too much. But out of all the Roman Wilson, Cornelius Johnson, and a couple players on the team right now has said Frederick Moore has been that guy to watch. And I think it'd be motherfucking dope, man, to see him have a breakout season to where, like I say, they all young. He's a sophomore. With Jaden Davis coming along as a freshman quarterback. Next year he'll be a sophomore, but to have this young nucleus, I know it's going to be kind of difficult to probably keep everybody the longer you go along with NIL and all that shit. But Frederick Moore, man, is somebody else I'm excited to see how he contribute to the Michigan team this year, to the receiving corps. Just because everybody co-sign for you, you still got to go out there and do the motherfucking work. And I saw a recent video where it looked like he has really been hitting the weight room. And that's one thing Michigan has been doing a very, very great job of doing, is building these players up. Not just in the weight room, but talent, skill-wise as well. Outside of the Tariq Black situation and the Donovan Peoples-Jones and the Nico Collins, Cornelius Johnson he's been an okay receiver within the last 5 years. Ronnie Bell has been an okay receiver, but we are yet to have that guy who can change things up far as deep threat and that magnitude. And that's what Michigan is basically hoping for Frederick Moore. They hoping he can be – he's not that big of a guy. Like I said, he's 6'1", 185. So he definitely one of the biggest receivers that we have returning. And being that Cornelius Johnson and Roman Wilson stayed for a couple of years, well, Roman was a senior, but Cornelius was a 6-year senior, I believe, which a couple juniors and seniors would be actually transferred. You had somebody like, damn, I got to look at a couple guys' names. I know the Oregon kid transferred back home. Darius Clemens transferred. And you also have English. Camille English, the freshman last year from Alabama, who Michigan fans were kind of excited for as well. He transferred, but like I say, that's just give Frederick Moore the more opportunity to step up and make big plays. But with Michigan having a new quarterback this year, and right now it's looking like it's going to be Alex Orji. I do believe that the tight end is going to be their main weapon. And there's no other better tight end in the nation that you would rather have on your motherfucking team than Colston motherfucking Loveland, the greatest player from Idaho. It is rumors that he's going to be switching to the number 1 jersey, which would be dope. It brings on a lot of responsibility. But he's going to be their guy this year. Colston Loveland, 6'5", 250 pounds. And if you watch my videos coming into the season, I did make a claim like that he's going to have a big year. I said around 500 to 600 receiving yards. He ended up having 45 catches, 649 yards, and 4 touchdowns. A true sophomore last year. I see it says on the screen, you probably see JR Plus. I don't know how the fuck that plus got there. I just noticed it just now. But he is a true junior, and he's rated as the number 1 tight end in the nation. dude's a motherfucking beast, man. He can do it all. He can block. And if you go back and look at a lot of Donovan Edwards' big runs, the first person that you normally see running behind him is Colston Loveland. I feel him and Donovan Edwards definitely have a connection with each other on that offense, two physical dudes. And I think Colston Loveland, he had a breakout year last year, but I feel this is the year that he turns himself into a superstar and probably can put himself as a, late first round, early second round draft pick next year. But Baron, no injuries happen. He's definitely going to be an All-American and a certified motherfucking baller. So Colston motherfucking Loveland, man. And there you have it. Like I said, a couple players, Darius Clemens, Dixon, a couple players transferred, which was expected. But the good thing about it, shout out to the Michigan recruiting staff and the weight room and training staff who has been developing these players. Like I said, I recently saw a video of Frederick Moore, and dude looked it cut up as a motherfucker. So I'm definitely excited, man. Colston motherfucking Loveland. These are your main receivers and tight ends that you want to get to know. Also, you have Peyton O'Leary. He was basically missed the spring game last year. He basically was the one that, I forgot my man's name, Walker, I believe his name was, who was going over to DB after playing receiver. And then Peyton O'Leary ate his ass up in the spring game last year. Now he's at Ole Miss. So look out for Peyton O'Leary. And like I said, I like the receivers and tight ends group, but I definitely won't be surprised if Michigan goes in the portal and maybe look at another receiver or a tight end. I know Michigan got a couple, Zach Marshall, Max Bredesen is basically a blocking fullback. So I definitely won't be surprised if one group that they probably will look at as far as the transfer portal will be receivers and tight ends. And with another transfer portal coming up right after the spring game, I feel that I don't think no other Michigan skilled players is going to be entering the portal unless Michigan brings in a transfer. So this depends on the situation, not tight end, but if you a Frederick Moore or possibly a Tyler Morris and they bring in the Penn State guy who's in the transfer portal, you probably say, well, probably feel a little disrespected and enter the portal yourself. But there you have it, man. Those are your receivers and tight ends on the year. I think Colston Loveland's going to be a certified baller. I'm definitely excited to see what Morgan do, Morris, and more. The triple M's. There you got her. You heard on them Hayes and Blue first, man. The triple M's. Motherfucker, I just thought of that shit. Morgan, Morris, and more. That can be motherfucking dope, man. To see those three dudes out there, three young dudes balling. And with, like I say, with Alex Orji and Donovan Edwards in that backfield, you want somebody like a Morgan and, who can get in space and be a matchup problem. He's aggressive, run hard behind the line of scrimmage. He's not physical like Deebo Samuels. Not as big by a long shot. Pause, no Diddy. But he's not big like a Deebo Samuel, but he's definitely explosive when the ball's in his hand. So just one more time, man. Colston Loveland, Frederick Moore, Tyler Morris, and Samaje Morgan is definitely 4 players you're going to want to see on that offense. And I feel if we can have 2 of these dudes have, basically like last year, like Colston Loveland and Roman Wilson did, I think that would be good enough for Michigan to compete to go back-to-back national champs. So, once again, I'm excited to see these dudes this Saturday on Fox. I was going to do a 420 smoke stream of the game, but Father Duty's called, and I think my little one got a basketball tournament this weekend. It's that season, so I see how that go. Hopefully, I can get it in, but if not, I'm definitely going to be watching. And we're not going to let these probations and all that bullshit distract us. We go just look at and stay focused on the task at hand that we're going back to back. Like I said, we built for this. We're not worried about the media. These dudes are locked in, and I think this receiver and tight ends group got a lot of shit to prove, and I think they're going to have a great fucking season. So, other than that, go motherfucking blue.